Hello, hello. Happy Friday, Summer's Fitness. It's Amanda Liptak here, registered dietitian and certified aromatherapist. And as promised, I am back on Friday with some Friday Fun Day foodie tips. So today I thought that I would review a little bit about the ketogenic diet. I have had some people reach out to me and ask me questions about this diet and some other diets. So I did present this topic as well in my nutrition community this week, and it was very well received. So I thought it might be helpful to you as well. All right, so what is keto? Keto is short for ketosis, and ketosis is the process where the body produces excess ketones for energy in the absence of glucose from carbohydrates. Remember that carbohydrates are broken down. The body likes to break down carbohydrates. So that is the preferred energy source. So when those are absent, not available by the body has to use something else as fuel. In this case, it's using fat as fuel. That process can be taxing on the body. The body doesn't really like to do that very easily. So what we see is, some ill side effects from that, and we call that the keto flu, and I'm sure that you've heard of that. People who've tried, the ketogenic diet describe how that feels, and it could be dizziness, it could be brain fog, irritability, headache, low energy. Sometimes people suffer such ill effects from the keto flu that they decide that they can't move forward with the diet. So certainly not, an easy process to go through for everyone, and definitely different diets apply, to different people, and it's definitely an individual choice. So remember, the ketogenic diet is described as a high-fat diet with a moderate protein and very low carbohydrates, usually between 10 and 50 grams of carbohydrates per day. Now, a lot of people think that they're following the ketogenic diet, but in reality, their carbohydrates really aren't low enough, consistent enough for them to be in ketosis. So they're moving from, a low carb diet to maybe just like on the cusp of ketosis, but their body isn't actually going through the whole process of ketosis, and they're not utilizing those ketones. So they're more like an Atkins style type of diet, if you will, if you want to assign a name to that. So that's something to think about as well. So why has the ketogenic diet gained in popularity? Because it is all the rage still, right? Well, it's been identified in the health and fitness industry as a way to lose body fat. And today, I am actually not talking about keto's application in the clinical realm or as it applies to medical nutrition therapy, but I want to talk about it outside of that realm. I want to talk about it in the everyday person, because that's how people are trying to use it. You have to remember that the ketogenic diet really is a therapeutic diet. It was not developed to be a maintenance diet at all. It was not developed for people to be on this diet long term. And I had the pleasure of sitting in a roundtable discussion with Dr. Mark Hyman 2 weeks ago. And if you don't know who he is the director of the Functional Medicine Institute at the Cleveland Clinic. And there was a lot of questions coming at him about keto. And he said, remember guys, this was developed therapeutically. It was developed in application for clinical reasons for very specific populations. It was never meant to be for the general public, and it was never meant to be a long-term diet. So the research too does not really support, we just don't have a lot of data on the long-term effects of keto in the normal everyday person. So keep that in mind. Another consideration if you are contemplating going on the diet, okay? Now, does keto burn fat? Because that is the question, Everybody wants to burn more fat. I get it. I want to burn more fat too. The answer is yes, it does burn fat. But guess what? So do other types of weight loss solutions. So it's like not the end all be all to fat loss. Any nutrition plan that has you in a calorie deficit is going to result in fat loss. Any nutrition plan. So if you are in a calorie deficit, you will start to lose weight. So keep that in mind. It doesn't matter if it's carbohydrates, proteins, or fats. Certainly as the process goes on, you can play with those macronutrients, but being in a calorie deficit is the initial thing that you need to think about as a starting point. Okay. Now, some keto supporters claim that the drop in the hormone insulin, which is like comes from the reduced carbohydrate load that you're taking in, and an increase in ketones somehow makes this diet superior to a balanced calorie deficit. And that's really not true because there's no research to support that claim. And then the second thing that I've seen out there is that some keto supporters say that the diet actually increases the rate at which fat is removed at the cellular level, and we call that fat oxidation. So, and that's true. It actually does do that. So it speeds up fat oxidation, removing the fat from the cellular level. However, it does not address the amount of stored fat or in the adipose tissue. Okay, that's your stored fat. Fat oxidation and losing fat or adipose tissue are two separate processes. So they're not the same. So some people out there are kind of like talking about them like they're the same thing and kind of using them interchangeably, but they're not. They're two separate processes. Remember that once you gain a fat cell, you know, or we increase our weight, you know, we gain 5 pounds, 10 pounds, we have more fat cells come on board, okay? You don't really ever get rid of those fat cells. The ones that actually die and have a lifespan are replaced equally with new fat cells. So it becomes a wash. So you never really, you know, can get rid of them per se. I explain that to my clients by thinking about the spices in your cupboard. Okay, you just went from, I'm gonna buy all my spices at Costco, huge jumbo pieces of, you know, cinnamon and pepper and salt, to I'm gonna go to the local grocery store and get a little, you know, 1.5 ounce spice. So fat cells expand and then they shrink as we lose weight, as we gain weight, as we lose weight. But we truly never per se get rid of them. Remember, because the ones that die are being replaced by new ones. So think about that process too, okay? All right, so what makes keto so special? I mean, the answer is really nothing. It doesn't make it any more special than any other weight loss, you know, plan out there. You know, will you lose weight faster at a faster rate than most other plans? You will. You will. It comes off pretty quickly once you remain in ketosis. But in saying that, there's a couple things to think about here. As with any other type of eating plan, I always ask my clients, can you do this forever? Forever. Think about The Sandlot. Have you seen that movie? I know Jennifer's watching, Danielle and Kimber. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you being on live. So think about that. Can you maintain this diet forever as a long-term lifestyle? Chances are, you know, you might not be able to do that. So ask yourself that when you try to, you know, start any new type of diet plan. Again, you're going to lose weight on the ketogenic diet, but it's very restricting. You know, there's certain things that you cannot consume on the diet. So know that there's going to be a birthday party, there's going to be an anniversary party, there's going to be a vacation, you know, and how are you going to handle those things when you want to enjoy food in those events and you want to live your life, you know? And I don't know if it's something that you might be able to, you know, handle. That's where I see a lot of my clients come to me. They were previously on keto, had a lot of success, but gained that weight back, sometimes plus more, because life happens, you know, you incur different types of situations where you want to enjoy different food again, and that's very, very difficult coming off of restricted dieting. Okay. Now, I don't really believe that we have a weight loss problem in the U.S. That's just my personal opinion. I know my colleagues are with me on that, and we have a weight regain problem in the U.S. and sometimes, you know, much of the world. It's a global issue. And I know, again, my colleagues agree. I did not coin that term. It's a term that is used in my industry a lot. And, you know, you have to always ask yourself this question. If the results of any diet are not sustainable, then why would I do it? If it's not something that I can do forever or transition very easily off of into a sensible type of eating plan that I can maintain long term, then why would I engage in that diet? So I'm going to leave you with that question. That's for you to answer, not for me to answer. Remember, I promote the U Diet, individual nutrition plan and care, not group, let's do it because everyone else is doing it kind of thing. Has to work for you and your needs and your body type, right? So, all right, you guys, have a great Friday. I'm going to sign off now. And rush off to an appointment, but it's been a pleasure being on here with you today. Again, if you have questions or if you've enjoyed the video, please let me know by showing me some love and liking this video, maybe dropping me a comment, and I will talk to you soon.